Hello, everybody. I am SunPsychic Jean. Please welcome my very special co-host, Daphne from Relax with Daphne.
Thank you, Jean. So excited to be here to talk about trees.
I almost said relaxing with Daphne, but it's relaxed with Daphne. I mean, just
Relax.
relax with
Mhm.
Daphne. Yeah. And thank you, everybody, for coming, for being here, and for participating. It's going to be a lovely show today. We're going to be getting acquainted with a couple of different trees and a couple of different facts about trees in general. And also, we're going to be doing, as usual, a little bit of um, information and gallery and connection. So it's all building up to getting to know, getting into the spirit of, and focusing on tree energy. And so, Daphne, can you tell us a little bit about your history with tree, or if you want to talk a little bit about tree itself?
Yes, my spiritual awakening I trace to uh, age about 2.5. And I was suddenly aware that all the plants around me were conscious, were loving, were just like people. And as a 2.5-year-old child, that stuck with me. And my whole life, I have felt supported and loved and embraced by all the plants everywhere.
Oh,
And trees in particular are really, really important mentors and spiritual guides for me. And there are elders on this planet, right? They preceded humans by millions and millions and millions of years. And I think that we have a lot to learn from them, and I think that we can take a lot of comfort and healing from working with trees.
I think so too. Definitely comfort and healing. And just imagine yourself when you were a kid climbing trees and when you would find that little nook, that perfect place where you could fit between the branch and the tree. And I would sit up there for hours. We had a couple of trees in our backyard, not anything too tall or too difficult to climb. One, we had some pine trees in the back, in the way back in the other part of the yard. And the sap we would get everywhere. And I don't know what possessed me to want to try and climb those trees, but we did, and we got it everywhere.
So fragrant. It smells so
hmm
good. Yeah.
hmm Yeah. So I see Stacy from Sacred Key Co's is here. Hi, Stacy. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being here. And Polly is here. CJ is here. JR and Bora Bora. Thanks everybody for being here. So nice to see you. Welcome to Saturday at either 5 p.m. Eastern and 2 p.m. Pacific. So nice to see everybody. Okay, so do you want to go ahead and get started? Oh,
Hey, Diane. Good to
oh,
see you.
Diane G is here. Hi, Diane. So nice to see you. Gatekeeper is here. You know, I was on with Mark, the Spirit Whisperer, earlier today, and he is very connected to nature spirits. He channels the energy of Pan, which is what um, Mark describes Pan as is the source or God's representation on earth as earth. And it was just so, I love the way that he describes that Pan is, because I thought he was like the god of the forest or god of the forest creatures or god of the trees. I didn't know, he's depicted in so many different ways. But when he said it was God, creation itself manifested on earth, like he's this energy that is on earth, that is in all of these living things. I thought that was really fascinating. I enjoyed that description and understanding it that way. I've had a very strong connection to Pan, and Mark was one of the ones I reached out to for some instruction, education, understanding. Like, what was that I just saw, and why is they in my life?
We're so
Mhm.
fortunate when we become aware of what's surrounding us all the time. And Jean, how do you feel about me showing some slides to get people in
Yeah,
the
let's
mood to
let's
talk
get started.
trees? Yeah. I brought some pictures of some of the oldest trees on Earth. I mean, if you want to feel young, go stand next to Hyperion in California. This tree is 800 years old that we think of, and it's massive. And it has an amazing presence. There's just nothing like standing at the base of a tree like this and feeling into the energy of it. This olive tree has been caring for human beings for 4,000 years old. It still produces olives, and it has just this amazing divine feminine presence from what I've heard described. I haven't seen her myself, but hope to do that in person someday. Methuselah, you may have heard of this tree. I think it's a bristlecone, yeah, bristlecone pine. It's almost 5,000 years old. There's some debate about whether or not it's still alive, but
Oh,
until it's declared not alive, we are blessed with its presence.
are
And
there
I
more
love
of the of this type of tree out there, or is this the last one of its?
this. As far as I know, this is the oldest one that we are aware of, but
Okay,
bristlecone pine is all over the West.
okay.
And then this is a Norway spruce, almost it's 9,500 years old in Norway. And I love how these trees gather names, right? This one is the Huon pine. It doesn't look like anything that's a big deal, but that tree is 10,000 years old, right? So that tree was old before the pyramids, old before Christ walked the planet, old before, Shakespeare came along.
Wow.
There's another tree in Australia. It's called the Ice Age gum. There's 6 trees still remaining, 13,000 years old from the Ice Age. And then this one is especially dear to my heart. Pando is one tree. All what looks like a forest to us is one organism, and it's enormous, and it's 80,000 years old. So if you ever have an opportunity to visit it, I think it will be really a powerful and poignant moment when you get to meet such trees in person. And so that's some of the oldest plants on the planet and some of the largest. And Jean, you could go ahead and take those slides down if you like.
My husband and I um, just went to a garden here in DC. Thank you very much, Daphne. That was really fascinating. And um, we just went to a garden here in DC, and there was such a beautiful variety of trees, and they have a special exhibit of bonsai trees that are hundreds and hundreds of years old. And for some reason, I didn't think about it until just this moment. So I'm texting him to ask him the name of the garden in DC. And really, it's a there's a big giant walkway, and a lot of people go there for exercise and but they have almost every different specimen of flower, and we went there to see the rhododendron and the other flowering trees. And I have that little app that identifies the identifier app, and you can take a picture of the flower on the tree, and it'll tell you what kind of flower and tree it was. It was really very beautiful, and we were just we went to get some exercise, but my husband likes to visit the bonsais and see like all the different because when you go there in different seasons, it looks different, and each something different is blooming, and or things are covering the ground like the cottonseed. I don't know what that is, the cottonseed things, and or the droppings from the trees and stuff. We were walking back to the car, and we kind of cut through, and there was all these little, I don't know, they were crab apples or something that we were trying to walk over. That the trees, some of the there, whatever variety of tree that we were walking under, had dropped this amazing fruit on the ground, and how it supports nature. It is like you said, the olive tree was feeding um, people, the community for hundreds or thousands of years. I forget what you said.
4,000, 4,000
Thousand.
years. Yeah,
It
yeah.
was giving fruit. That is amazing.
You're reminding me of one of the cherry trees that I met when I was in Canada. When I was in Canada in March, my sister passed away, and it was really cold up there, and but sunny in the part of Canada where we were. But the night that she passed away, the cherry tree right in front of the house that we stay in there was burst into complete and utter bloom. It was like
Oh
a
my God.
pink cloud, and it was so unusual. I took a picture. I'm sorry I didn't include this in my slides, but I took a picture of the street, all the naked cherry trees, no blooms, no buds even. This tree fully in bloom, and people were driving from all around to come and take photos of the photo. It was so unusual. So trees collaborate with us even when we're in spirit. That I absolutely believe that my sister and that tree were saying goodbye. And I thought about that, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's probably what happened, and it was a really beautiful gift. And I took many photos, and then I was talking to a friend of mine last week, and her neighbor died. Her neighbor was a huge fan of dogwood trees, and the dogwood burst into bloom the night that neighbor died. So
Oh,
we need to pay attention to what the trees are doing around us. They are participating in our lives, and we may or may not be aware of it. But I just take a lot of comfort from that tree's display, and the generosity of trees, right? Giving us fruit, giving us flowers, giving us shade.
and the supportive nature that they have, and the energetic awareness, like they you think they're just outside your house, but they feel the energy that is coming from you. And
Yeah.
if your sister looked out and admired that tree every day of her life, and then it bloomed as a sign of, gratitude and a send off, or whatever it may have been, maybe it was just a sign of, I don't know. I feel gratitude and a send off, like thank you, and that the joy, just responding in the joy that she had always, provided that tree. And they are really very sensitive. They do communicate with us. They are not just bystanders that don't have ears or energy. They soak up and hear everything. They notice everything, and that's
Yeah.
one of the words I wrote down for my description. And
Well,
uh,
Gatekeeper 94 asks a really good question. I have a baby cedar tree. Can you get messages from individual trees? Yes. And what's so amazing about trees is that you can have an individual relationship with an individual tree, but it's also tied into the larger spirit of that species. And then from there, the larger spirit of treeness, if you will. So yes, absolutely, you can speak to that tree. Obviously, they're like people. You want to approach them, introduce yourself, ask if they're interested in talking with you. They may or may not be, but generally, they're delighted when we notice what's going on. So I encourage you,
absolutely.
yeah, check it
Hmm.
out, see what the tree has to say. You might even get some advice on where to plant it or what it needs, and trees have, they're not as demanding as you might think because they know how to take care of themselves and each other. They care for each other.
Wow. Wow. Um, we are talking about tree and the energy and frequency of nature. We're not really getting into the fae or the spirit um, around trees, but tree itself has its own spirit, its own um, what am I searching for? Consciousness. It has a consciousness, and we call it spirit and consciousness, but um, it's not necessarily. And that's what my presentation starts off with: is we're not discussing tree gnomes. This is different than a tree gnome. It's not a fairy that would live in the trees or the forest. It's not the elementals or any other type of nature spirit. It is specifically this tree, that tree consciousness, or you could call it the spirit of trees, because they do have a collective kind of a energy to them. Oof. So let me just bring this up. And thank you, Gatekeeper 99 or 94. Right. Thank you guys. Aw, Diane's like, interesting. She's so cute. Do different kinds of trees connect to people differently? I think it's all a personal preference. I mean, I think it's, something that I would love and adore, or something that would be close to me, or a particular tree that would be near my childhood home, and or a tree that I would climb, or I think this, and or like Terry Renner from Holding Your Space and I were doing a show, and we spontaneously decided to connect to the banyan tree in Hawaii and get a message from that, because it's so well known. It survived the fire, and it was such an icon for the community, and an icon of hope, an icon of survival. And we want it, so we can be connected to something like that. But I think and I might not be connected to a certain birch tree or something, because it's not in my area, or I've never it's so, yeah, I think it's different. What do you think, Daphne?
I do. I think individual trees have very distinct personalities. The land where I live in Arizona, there is a Palo Verde tree that has presented itself as the spokes tree for the land, right? So when I want to know how things are going with the land, I'll go spend time with that tree. And we have that sort of relationship where we are working partners, right? Like if there's concerns about drainage, or if there's concerns about, we have an invasive species called buffalo grass. If the trees are concerned about that, we can work together to eradicate that plant. We can work together to change the way that the like the sheet flooding moves over the property. It's really practical and helpful to have a good relationship with the trees on your land. And trees have very different concerns, right? Like one of the trees I absolutely love is larch, and larch is really helpful when you are working on creative projects and you need self-confidence to put
Mm,
it out into the world. The spirit of larch, the personality of larch, not only translates in a spiritual connection that we can make with the tree, but it can translate into a homeopathic remedy, a flower essence remedy. So you have a number of access points to get in to make that connection with the tree. And I I would encourage you to literally ask the tree, approach the tree, ask whether or not they are open to connecting with you. And you ever done that test? Like if you just feel sort of like a ping in your heart, that's one of my plant teachers says, did you get a ping or a thud, right? So when somebody is interested in talking to you or making conversation, like when you go to the bus stop and there's three people there, you can tell who wants to chat and who doesn't. And trees are just
mhm,
like, so
mhm,
I would definitely encourage you to make a connection with any type of tree that appeals to you.
mhm. I think one of my, other than, childhood climbing the trees and diving into the leaves and things like that, one of my in, interactions with tree is when I went to learn Reiki. I went to a Reiki class, and the instructor took us outside and asked us to talk to the tree. And I'm like, I don't want to talk to a tree. I want to learn Reiki. And I'm like, oh, so I was just like, and they're like, stand in front of the tree, greet the tree, tell them that you're open to messages, and ask them if they would like to connect with you. And so I was like, kind of halfway thinking, when is this going to be over? And then I'm like, oh, I'm like, something, I kind of feel like something is wanting my attention. Like you feel a presence. It's almost like when you feel like there's somebody in the room, or you can tell there's somebody coming around the corner. It's like there's a presence that you can't see. It's a very subtle feeling, but it's undeniable. And that presence of tree that came up when I was, sitting there thinking, when is this going to be? When are we going to get to Reiki? and it was lovely, really, really lovely. And then they encouraged us to come home and speak to our trees in our neighborhood. And I had mentioned this before, but I'll just repeat it real quick. The one of the trees had lost its limb. I have two trees, two tall trees in my front yard there, and one of the trees had lost its limb. And I asked the tree if it hurt, and they said, or if they were missing its limb, if it bothered them or something, and they said no. They were just grateful for the time that the limb was there to help balance as they were growing, and that and that they, you could see the wound where the limb was cut down because it had broken. And they said no, that that's a proud memory, and that they were just happy to have it, and honored that it was there for that time. It was really very beautiful. I used to feel sorry, and I used to think it hurt, and I used to be like, oh, it misses it. This we put this human kind of construct on the consciousness of tree, and they're like, no. you know everything's okay. Everything is as it should be. There's no reason to worry. There's no loss here. It's all a part of nature. It comes and it goes, and we
Well,
just
I think
appreciate
trees,
it.
yes. And I think trees are doing their best to teach us to live in the moment, right? Because even a tree that's 80,000 years old, there was a time before it existed, and there will be a time after it exists. And
Wow.
having, understanding the ephemeral nature, the temporary nature of human existence, trees are modeling for us taking joy in the moment, being proud of the memories, looking forward to transitioning to the next realm. The trees are here to help us, support us, teach us, and to love us. And that's one thing that I wish more people could feel, right? That there is tremendous unconditional love coming from trees. I mean, trees make oxygen for us. We cannot live without trees, and they take in the carbon dioxide that we breathe out. So, even beyond the beautiful spiritual relationship with trees, we have a deep physical entanglement with trees. We cannot live without them. And if we are open to that relationship and are willing to connect with trees, you will get nothing but joy and love in return.
Um, okay, so JR says, when I started my spiritual journey, I heard about hugging trees. It did help soothe my anxiety. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's a real thing. It's a real thing. And they're wonderful to meditate under and to connect to your spirit guides. It really does help for that. It ramps up when you alter your state of consciousness to connect. So,
Yeah.
Diane, oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Um,
she doesn't get pings or thuds.
uh,
Yes.
but there are trees I instantly want to hug or touch. Maybe
Mhm.
that's my ping. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A friend of mine took that TikTok challenge where you ask a tree to touch you. I've never seen it because I haven't been on TikTok, but apparently you stand, just a few inches away from a tree and you ask the tree to touch you, and the tree will actually bend its branch to touch you. So, something to go outside and try. Don't make the tree reach like 5 feet, right? You need to get
Right.
close enough that it makes sense. But
Yeah.
yeah, the tree can reach out and touch you.
We're all
And
magnetic. We all
yeah.
we're magnetic in nature, in physicality. And I know that we did a arc aura um, exercise with the Crone Zone, and we talked about how we could see the aura around our own fingers, and then the aura around trees. And I said, when you look at the tree, if it's a bright sunny day, it's a little easier. And you sort of like relax your eyes and sort of like notice your peripheral vision, like not really focus directly on the tree, but just kind of relax your eyes. You'll be able to see like this halo around the tree. And it's right at the top, you can see it the most, but it's all around. It's like this little shimmer. It's beautiful. And it's the same thing around all of us and all of our limbs and stuff. It's a fascinating exercise. And if you never tried it, Once you do, you'll always see it. Once you do, take the time to just practice and almost like look past the tree, like even into the sky a little bit, and you'll start seeing the tree being outlined. It's almost like a little bit of double vision, but it's more of like a glow around it. And it's just fascinating. I love staring at the top of trees. It's nurturing to my soul for sure.
Yeah,
So
and you're reminding me of oh, yeah, good question. What are the tree's opinions on pruning? I'm suddenly very concerned. Two things. One is that they know the nature of living with human beings, right? We are co-creating a landscape together. And if you decide you must prune a tree, first of all, make sure you know when to prune it. There's a lot of gardening advice out there, and every tree is different. But two things I would add is tell the tree in advance. Go out to the tree and say, this is going to be happening. And then you can describe what what your goal is, right? You're not trying to remove the tree. You're just trying to give it a better shape, whatever your goals are. And then one of my very, very wise plant teachers, Stephen Heron Buhner, his studies show that you try to take less than 18% of plant material or biomass away from the plant, whatever you're pruning. So keep it under about 18%, and that it seems to be the sweet spot for plants. But you were reminding me, Jean, of the benefits of being in a forest, like the physical benefits. There's a lot of, it's first of all, it's fantastic for your nervous system to just go hang out with a single tree. But then when you go to a forest and you just slow down and you stand there and you feel the energy, you look for the auras, you will have your nervous system will come into coherence. It'll be really soothed by that. And then they started forest bathing in Japan, and a lot of their studies they take cancer patients out to forests to do a forest bathing, and they check their immune system. And apparently, the beneficial effect of having your immune system boosted lasts for a whole month. So that's sort of a prescription for cancer patients in Japan. Go to the forest at least once a month. So trees are willing to help us heal. We just have to be open to it.
so restorative as well. So restorative. Well, lovely. So is if everybody's ready, maybe I'll just read some words and then I'll pick up the images because I don't think I can do both. So like we said that we're not going to it's not the tree gnomes, it's not the tree fairies or the elemental spirits. It's the actual spirit of tree itself. I did have the name of the show and I changed it. I said tree spirits and then I said spirit of tree. I changed it because it just it was reading the wrong way for me. So some of the words that I was inspired when I was focusing on the oak tree specifically, and I have some pictures of trees and then pictures of oak trees. The oak tree is wise, centuries old, a protector, majestic, nurturing, playful, unrestricted, freedom, magnificent, teacher, communicator, provider, witness. And I said acorn, but I missed healer too. It's also healer, nurturer, I guess is in there. And it says there, or I have it here, I collected some information. It says there are roughly 200 and, I'm sorry, 450 known species of oak. Oaks vary in size and shape and are known for their slow to moderate growth, sturdiness, and easy maintenance. Many, that's me, you guys. That sounds like I was describing my life. Slow to moderate growth, sturdiness, and easy maintenance. Sorry, thought that was funny. Many oaks have persistent leaves that remain on the tree throughout winter, providing shelter for birds and other wildlife. The fruits, acorn, add another layer of texture and interest to the landscape and can be an excellent food source for a variety of wildlife. I mean, I really love oak, and there is a tree that, when I was doing my shamanic training that I connected to, and there's a tree at my mother's house, and it's a large oak, and they did not build houses on this piece of land specifically to preserve the oak, and it's an ancient oak and or his centuries old oak. And I don't have a picture of it, but I have a picture that's similar to it. So let's go through, and I'll just, you know me, I like to roll through. This is just an inspiring, beautiful picture of an oak. Now, this is just tree energy itself. I mean, I would love to be in this environment here. I just love the energy that I get from this photo. And then this photo would be the palm trees. I think somebody else said the coconut trees, or somebody else said palm trees. I don't know who else said it. I can't
I
find it
saw
right
that.
now. But
Yeah.
very tropical trees, of course, yes. So this is an oak tree, and how beautiful, what a rendition this photograph is. And this is just the trees in a forest, and how healing that feels to me. And this is these are look like old oaks, maybe in the South. But look how old. And this is another palm tree. I love that. And this one inspires me a lot. Now, I'm not sure if these are specifically palm trees. I'm sorry, oak trees, but they are, it's just, it's, it's jumping off the page with energy and vitality and information. I just love the dark branches and the bright chartreuse and dark leaves. Just the variety of colors of green in that photo is just very, very alluring to me. And this is a forest scene. And this is what, uh, we don't think of it in all different seasons, but this is obviously the fall, and how brilliant and artistic and loving that is. There's leaves, different seasons. It's just a picture. Here's another forest. Another forest. Look at all these ferns. How beautiful, how lush, how nurturing, and how energizing and healing and pristine that all is. Okay, now we're getting into the serious oaks. This is a very old oak here. And I love how the oak just grows in any direction it pleases. It has no restriction. It's very playful in the way that it decides to grow. And it's just beautiful.
All those arms and angles are to deliver the most leaf surface to the sun's rays, right? Like if you think of those leaves as solar panels, the tree is arranging its limbs to get the most amount of sun, and they commune with the sun all the time. It's gorgeous.
Wow. Here's another picture of an oak in the distance. And this is an old oak here. And just amazing how old this is. And this one, you said this was in North Carolina, or where did you
I
say?
think it was the picture before that. I think it's the angel oak in South Carolina. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, that's amazing.
interesting.
You
And the
probably noticed I plan my vacations around where can I go visit an old tree?
oh, just amazing. And all the moss and things that are, or that it just has all that extra growth on it. Not sure what
Yeah.
that is. My husband would know. And this is just an oak on a hillside in the distance. Now, this oak, I chose this because it looks very similar, or it's very similar to the one at near my mother's house. The way there's a house here, and they didn't like build any houses on the part. It's a little bit bigger of a part of land at my mom's house, but this tree I think might be a little bit bigger than the one at my mom's. Looks like they did take down some branches just for the street there, but that is magnificent. Um, Here's a picture of an oak before, like, I guess 100 years before, and then what it looks like after. Look how it sprawls out across the land there, and just spontaneously. It's so beautiful. Here's another picture of an old oak and all of its character and all of its whimsy and all of its, just any direction. I love that. Here's a picture
I
of a beautiful. Uh huh.
I was just going to say it really disturbs me when in movies and books they make trees look evil and horrific, right? They are not. They aren't. They love us and they want to shelter us and help us. And if you ever get lost in a forest, tune in, talk to the trees. They'll escort you out. They'll show you the way out.
Wow. Made me think of like Wizard of Oz, where the trees grab Dorothy. This is just a beautiful oak in somebody's front yard. It's so beautiful. So the next one I have is going to be a test. I hope. Uh, uh, I don't know if I hit the sound. Let me just stop it a second and add it back in, and I'll make sure
Yeah.
that I hit sound, because this one I want to make sure to share audio, share tab or screen instead. I have this one, tab or screen. All
While
right.
you're
So
looking for
hopefully,
that, go
hopefully
ahead.
it'll work. Now, this one, you guys, just let me know if you can hear something. I'm going to turn it up, but what it is somebody had recorded the sound that the oak tree makes. So here it goes. Isn't that amazing? Were you able to hear
And
it, Daphne?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Just at the end, I could hear it. So beautiful. We have
Oh, it
so
was
much to
only
learn
at,
about.
sorry?
I just said we have so much to learn about and from trees.
And that sound and that frequency. Look, Terry holding your space is here. I told him this story when we did when we read for the banyan tree, Terry. I just can't figure out what show it is to show everybody. Thanks for being here, Terry. So did anybody else hear the sound from the tree? Thumping or tapping? No, it was definitely, it sounded like somebody was playing uh like a clarinet or something to me. Sounded like a wind instrument. So did you hear that, any of that, Daphne?
Yes, I
Okay.
did. It's gorgeous. Yeah.
Hopefully,
You know,
it came across. Yeah.
yeah. And Lori Hunsinger said something about large old oak trees always feel like they hold and share the wisdom of our ancestors. Yes. Full of knowledge and love. Yes. And generational healing. And your ancestors, I guarantee you, your ancestors, no matter where they were in the temperate part of the globe, they knew trees and they knew exactly when to show up to harvest acorns or bark or leaves or whatever else they needed from the tree. So these trees have intimate relationships with us through the centuries. And absolutely, you can tap into that ancestral wisdom, generational healing through the trees. They'll guide you and help you.
Thank you, Lori. That's right. Um, okay, so let's go on. This is the my thumbnail. I absolutely love this image of the oak and how beautiful and majestic and it's like filled with energy and vigor. The electrified type of energy, or the just the vibrancy of it just really makes me feel like what I feel like when I'm near the trees. And then after this, I just have a couple of renditions of tree spirit, not necessarily tree gnomes or fairies or anything, but just like a tree spirit. And this is obviously a I guess you would call it a humanoid or a human likeness to a lot of these trees, but it was very inspiring and creative. And we all know that this is a tree or an image of a nature spirit. This is also, look at these are all branches that are all around her head, and it's all tree. That's amazing. And then this is the spirit of a spirit of a tree, and that looks so much like an oak. It probably is, but it's like a real spirit of a tree. Well, it's pretty good. How
Well,
we all think that spirits are all white.
yeah. Well, trees eat light, right? That's their sustenance. They take in water, which is a liquid crystal. They take in light from the sun, and yeah, that looks like a faithful rendition of trees that I've encountered.
That's
They just
beautiful.
glow. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And then this is just another image of a tree spirit. If you want to think of a tree spirit and you want to imagine, a tree spirit, a nature spirit, these are all just um, you know, creative renditions that I found out on the internet, but this one really struck me because of its how connected it was to it was the tree, and how beautiful this is and how the leaves are in the hair. It's so beautiful. I love this one as a tree spirit. And then we all recognize this as a tree spirit. And then this is really getting into the energy of tree, and it's just an artistic rainbow type of. It reminded me of all the chakra colors and all of the dynamics of the different frequencies of energy that might be found in a tree. Now, this is an artist rendition, but it's really spoke to me, all the different colors and how they correlated to the chakra system. And then I
It's a
just have a couple that spoke to me that you might think of not necessarily as a human rendition, but like this is energy, and this could be the consciousness of tree. It could just be a frequency or a light code or a presence or a consciousness, and it could show up as light like this. I love this. And there's another one here that just absolutely stunning, vibrant, expanding, and just the colors of the blues and the greens and the purples, the nature and the way that it plays with the light. It really reminded me, if I had to think of what a tree spirit might look like or uh, might feel like, it kind of feels like this, like just light and consciousness and energy expressing itself in nature's creation. It's just, and obviously it's not exact, but it's just something that really inspired me. So I hope that it inspired everybody.
I think that really hints at the heart of this because when we encounter trees, we're encountering them in our 3D bodies and we're meeting their 3D bodies, but then we can connect on the spirit level. And then as we raise our energy and our vibrations, you start to notice how galactic a lot of tree energy is. So that photo, I really love that, Jean, because it's like, when you go into a forest and you look up, it's very cathedral-like, and then that was sort of stained glass effect. It's a beautiful melding of the sacred energy that you can experience with a tree.
Absolutely. I did. I used to have well, I do have an uncle that I used to drive up and see him, and I didn't want to drive I'm on the East Coast, and I don't like driving on 95, and I take the back ways through Lancaster, and Lancaster, I don't know if everybody knows Lancaster. It's very sprawl out, and it has beautiful valleys and hills and things. And there's this one valley where the trees are canopied, and I honestly could not. I mean, I had to force myself to keep driving. The trees were calling me, and I felt like there was a download or a message or a frequency that I needed to go back and stand in the forest and get. I mean, this is how it was like calling me, and I couldn't stop. I was on the road, I was traveling. I'm a single woman. I can't just turn around, get out of my car and go walking in the woods somewhere, you know? I was really torn, but I was for sure called to stop, that the trees or the forest were calling to me. And I just felt the information that it was almost like a recognition of my energy, felt that energy, and it was it was really beautiful. It was a really neat experience.
Well, your
Yeah.
connection can transcend time and space. When you have a chance to meditate on those trees, you could reach out to them and reconnect. Yeah.
Yeah, I could have, and I still can, and it was just the magnet, the pull that it had on me. And the only thing I could equate it to was I was also called to Mount Shasta. And I used to have dreams. I used to have spontaneous thoughts. And I used to be like, I would not be thinking of it and then have this longing or yearning to go to Mount Shasta. And I do know that that is a healing journey and a
Yeah.
spiritual quest, that to go there and to be healed by the energy there. I know Priscilla and Heather went to Mount Shasta, and they said they would be on the mountain. They're like, oh, this is really nice. It feels cool. Doesn't it feel nice? It's so nice. And they would do some meditation, and then they would climb back down the mountain, and they would be going home. And then as they got closer to the car, they're like, I don't want to go home. I want to go back to the mountain, because their healing wasn't done. They needed to
Yeah.
go, and they wanted to stay. They couldn't, and they're like, well, we couldn't tell that when we were on the mountain, but as soon as you start moving away, you're like, oh no, no, I'm being pulled back. I'm being pulled back. And they said they had spontaneous healing, or healing that manifested later. And it was just so beautiful. And I said, I know that feeling. I know that pull. I know that magnetic yearning or calling that we feel. And I'm just trying to describe it in case anyone else had ever feels. I'm sure that everybody feels this way, whether or not we realize what it is or what it isn't. Um,
Yeah. Mount Shasta is really important to me too. I go every year, and I had some of my most powerful shamanic journeys in Mount Shasta. And anytime you want to go, Jean, I'll meet you there.
wow, that's an invitation.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
have
fantastic. Yeah.
it was intense, and it was for quite a while. It was before all the, you know, it was before COVID, and I was close. I went to a nephew's wedding. He got married in Lake Tahoe, and we combined Lake Tahoe with a Yosemite vacation. So we went on vacation in Yosemite and then drove to Lake Tahoe. And when you drive, I mean, it's like this and the switchback. I was getting like altitude sickness, and I just couldn't go on such a long trip. But it was another 6 hours, and it wasn't really something that you could do in a day. And I knew once I got there, I wouldn't want to leave. So, but I'll definitely take it. If you want to tell me when you're going, I'll see if I can't get a
All
crew
right.
together and meet you up there. It's just amazing. I'm definitely drawn to it. So Lori says, is this, did we read this? Tell me. Generational healing is a missing link, and I've been asking my spirit team about. Thank you, Daphne. The solutions always manifest when you need it the most. That's right.
Yeah. You know, trees are doing so much work with us that we're not even conscious of. There is a Monterey pine that I visit, and that tree is about 70 years old. But the first time I connected with her, she showed me a map of our neighborhood, and she showed me during the day, and there were a few lights, right? And then she showed me at night, and the neighborhood was blanketed with lights. And what she was saying was that while people are sleeping, I am working with them. I am teaching them. I am healing them. So just because you're not consciously aware of how trees are responding to you, helping you, working with you, um, I'm quite confident that you've been the recipient of a tree's generosity and wisdom. So please, yes, Lori, pursue that.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And KK says, I love the oak tree. A Maine native chief guide of mine appeared in a vision last winter. He had an oak tree as his hair. Wow. Ponytail of sorts with roots connected to the scalp. Wow.
Oh, oh, I would love to see a drawing of that. That would be amazing.
Wow. And similar to some of the images or the artistic renditions of the spirit and the trees. I mean, that this is centuries. This is millennia. We see it chiseled in the side of rock. The spirits and the way they look. They resemble or come out of nature or are one with nature. People do see these, not just me. I'm not the only one, but people do see nature spirits. And I think that, just a real quick, when I saw Cyrano in one of my readings, I saw energy, like it was like lightning but plasma all around his head, and he had this unconditional love and really strong energy presence when he was there, very strong. And I knew that when they picture Pan or Cyrano's, they picture him with antlers because they didn't know what all this was. It wasn't lightning or plasma, and they were trying to draw it like the antlers. But I mean, either that or both. But I thought, it was amazing. And this uh, energy, this consciousness that I saw in my mind's eye has always been with me. It's almost like revealing itself. And yeah, it's amazing.
So often with trees, it's a remembering, right? We know this in our DNA, in our bones, in our blood. This is something that's really important for humanity. I'm just going to drop the link in the chat to uh, my series that I'm doing called the Summer of Relaxation. We're going to be doing some tree magic, and the link is there if you want to sign up for that. It kicks off tomorrow with a free sound bath. Everything's free. It's just I decided to do a series of offerings to help people chill out this summer. I think we could all use some time hugging a tree. So I hope you'll take a look, give it some thought. Yeah.
Um, do you, let me see, is it in here? I'll have to put it in here. It is. Mm, can I copy it? I can't. Maybe I'll show it there, but I don't think I can copy it. I'll have to go over to your page and copy it and put it in. Um, can is there a moderator on that can share it to my channel as well? Mm, let me see if I can jump over to Daphne's real quick, you guys. Just hang on one second. Actually, Daphne, let's go
We could
over
do
to Lori. She wanted to talk about
that.
the rainbow light while I get to your channel. There you
Mm. Yeah, I think energy is energy, right? Trees have auras. Trees have a pattern that the physical body of the tree will emulate, but there's sort of a consistent pattern from tree to tree, just like humans mostly come in a certain size and shape and height kind of range, right? We have a pattern for the species. And yeah, looking at those drawings that Jean has collected, they really spark the imagination. And but if you're not a clairvoyant person, if you don't see things, there's lots of other ways to experience tree spirit.
go. Absolutely. And KK said the tree was full of branches with feathers as leaves. It was beautiful vision, but a lot of messages. Oh, the one that she was talking about, the guy, the
Wonderful.
spirit guide. Aw. And Deanne says, I was taught when leaves are blowing and suddenly go silent, it's because the tree is praying and to be still and pray along with it. Aw, that's
I
pretty.
love that.
That's sweet. That's
I'm
sweet.
going to do that next time.
Give thanks back, right? And then Denise says, oh my heck, it's also beautiful. So
This is
nice.
an amazing planet with so many interesting and beautiful landscapes. It's
Yeah.
just such an
And
honor to be here.
you also have a summer solstice special coming up as well. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
I do. I don't have a link to it, but Stacy's on here, the Sacred Key Codes. She and I collaborated on a vernal equinox event, a meditation with flower essences and crystal singing bowls. And we're going to get together again on June 23rd at 4 o'clock Pacific time, 7 o'clock Eastern, and we're going to do a summer solstice meditation connecting into the sun and crystalline consciousness. It's going to be so much fun. I know, Jean, you love your crystals. I love my crystals. I love playing the crystal bowls. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's not really for beginner meditators. It's for people who have been on their journey for a while, or if you want to just dive in and try it, would love that. And if you want me to send you a notice about that when it's up and running, I'll put my email address in the chat. It's just
Yeah, definitely.
relaxwithdaphne@gmail.
I'll put it on my Facebook and on my community page, and I'm just making Stacy a moderator in case she can pop in that link. Is it you have a separate link? It's not on your is it which I can't remember the name. Is it Eventbrite?
It's not on Eventbrite yet. I
Okay.
think Stacy might have it on her website, but I gave myself too much to do this week and I haven't gotten to it. But
It's only the first. What do you mean?
that's right. That's right. We've already been in the Akashic records and we've received so much beautiful information. I'm really, really excited to connect people with this. And Jean, you've got it on your schedule. You're going to be joining us. And Allie from Heart and Soul Connected is going to be with us. So
Oh,
some really, oh, yay. Yay, Stacy. Stacy is a dream to work with. I am just so happy that we've connected and are able to do some collaborations. So much fun, and just the beautiful connection that she's made with the Akashic records, and the two of us have gone in and worked with crystalline consciousness, and I, I just can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. But in the meantime, all the free stuff for the summer of relaxation. You can come to a sound bath tomorrow that I'm doing. And for the whole month of June, we're relaxing the body because everything in life is better when we can relax.
okay, Deanne, thanks. She said that link doesn't work for the summer solstice. I mean, for the relaxation. I'll put it up again after. I just
Yeah.
copied and pasted, and maybe it didn't paste all the
Oh,
way. Is it
oh,
on?
you know what? It's missing the last. Let me try pasting it alone without any chat. Maybe
Is
I
it
cut it
on your
off.
community page?
It's on my website. Here, try this one. Yeah, that's the whole number. It's the other one just was truncated.
Okay, I'll do it again.
Yeah, this in my energy medicine practice, I do Reiki. I'm a Reiki master teacher. I'm a certified sound healer, flower essence practitioner, intention meditation facilitator, and an intuitive. So I'm bringing all that into the summer of relaxation. So you'll get a little taste of different things. And Diane G, if you're still in the chat, you and I've been talking about that, and you've signed up. Thank you. Get to try some new things.
Yeah, it's still not working. I'm not sure. Let me just, I can't copy it from there. I'll try pasting it one more time and then I'll finish because it does, it goes dot, dot, dot automatically.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah. The one above it, though.
848 little a and then 7A
Oh, thank you, Deanne.
246. I'll try that.
Hi, Diane.
I'll try it now.
Yeah.
Yep, it works. I put it in. I'll take out the wrong one.
Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. Yeah, it doesn't when you cut and paste, it doesn't work sometimes. Uh, take this one out too. I'll remove so that nobody else gets stuck. And I'll put it in my community page as well. I fixed it, Deanne, and I checked it. But thanks for letting me know. I appreciate it very much. And or Deanne DFL rocks. If you can check it again, I just checked it. But and Diane is going to be joining us, you said?
Mhm. Yeah, she signed up for oh, thank you, Diane. Diane won a Reiki session with me during Allie's 5K show. So we had a great time. And yeah, yeah. And now she's signed up for the summer relaxation.
Yep.
So,
And Diane says her link works. Well, thank you very much,
yay.
Daphne, for coming, for
Oh,
telling us all about trees. Next time, maybe we'll just do a little dabbling and a lot more connecting and see if everybody wants to connect and bring through messages from the tree spirits. We ran out of time today, but it was a lot of really good information. And the place where my husband took us to see all the different variety of trees and plants and flowers and bonsai was the National Arboretum. Or is it? Let me see. Um, I think it's called the National Arboretum. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Yep, National Arboretum. And it was just fantastic. If you want to look that up and look around and see, we were really lucky. It's just about 10 minutes from the house. It's not very far, well, maybe 15 minutes, but it was a fun day and nice to connect with all the plant life. Thank you again, Daphne. And thank you, everybody that was here supporting us. And thank you, everybody that's watching later. We will be back. We have more in this series. And everybody, enjoy your first day of June. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll see you all again tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy this content, hit like, share, and subscribe. Remember to click the bell to be notified of future videos. Thanks again. Bye.